Hi everybody, my name is Jessica and this is my channel Plant Hooker. Now I want to thank everybody who voted. I had posted on Instagram and here on YouTube about, because I've been kind of running out of ideas. Should I do a chat and repot or a wash pots and chat? Yes, Gwen, I see you. And it was the repot and chat that won. However, nobody had questions to ask, so I guess I'm just going to ramble. But I do have like some of my Hoya Carnosa Silver Splash cuttings to pot up. I've got my new Stromanti that needs to be repotted. My new waffle plant that needs to be done as well. And I also have my very weird looking Echeveria that needs to be repotted as well. It's not that the roots are coming out the bottom, it's just that it's getting top heavy, so I'm putting it into a 5-inch, but a very heavy one that it shouldn't be able to knock over, because I have it leaning up against my couch here. And a ton of spider plant cuttings to pot up too. I'll be giving those away during the summertime. And what else do I got to do? I think that's it. I've got earthworm castings to put in the pots for the spider plants. The Hoya, I'm gonna give that away, I guess. What else? Cat hair. And I have Angus. It's my audience, other than Gwen. So maybe I'll talk about him, because he's been quite popular on my YouTube shorts. Do I make you the star of the show, Angus? So let's get into it. I haven't quite decided. Actually, I don't know where to start. If I should do these two first. Probably them first, because I'm going to recycle the soil that they're in. I'm not going to add it. Sometimes I'll add the soil back in, if I know it's mine. But because I don't know where that soil came from, I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to recycle the soil and, of course, reuse the pots. So I will be headless for a little bit. If I can get this to come out. There we go. I really love this cover pot. It's gorgeous. Unfortunately, the cover pot that I have for a 6-inch, all I have left are these plain plastic ones. I think someday I might give them to Raymond for him to paint up for me. We'll see. I got a little rake for the roots, because as you can see, she's coming out quite a bit. And we'll try not to ruin them. It feels like she needs to be watered too. Now, Stromantes, like Calatheas, are sensitive to lime. Ooh, boy. Wow. Stromantes are sensitive to lime in the water, so this guy has been getting filtered water, like my other ones. Oh boy. She's really in here. Okay, so where to begin with Angus? we got, well, my family, we got Angus in August of 2019. We had my old dog, Roxy, who was a German Shepherd Rottweiler cross. She was a rescue too. Well, Angus isn't technically a rescue. He was like an owner surrender, so I don't know if it counts. But Roxy was 14 when we had to put her down. And because her hips were gone, she couldn't pick herself up. She was deaf, she was blind, she was starting to get lung issues. So it was time to say goodbye. The kids didn't like it, but oh well. And that's such is life. Because they were Raymond didn't really understand, but my oldest, he was sad and upset, of course. I can't really tell what kind of soil this is. It almost looks... It looks like coco-coir, but it smells like dirt. So it must be like a mix of the two. So we had Roxy put down because she was quite old, and then we buried her in the yard here. We have an apple tree on top of her, so we'll always be able to find her. And a friend of mine, like, she messaged me like about 3 hours later, gave me her condolences, and she said if she wondered if I would mind if she could give my name to somebody who was giving away a dog. And I said, well, that's kind of early. Like, I was hoping to have like a 2-week mourning period with the kids, you know, like honor Roxy and whatnot. And she's like, oh, I know, but it would do the world of good for you if she could contact you. I was like, okay. So 3 hours later, Angus's previous owner had contacted me saying that she was moving, she couldn't take him, and she was looking to rehome him. I came highly recommended, and she was wondering if I'd be interested. I said, well, I told her the truth. Like, we had just buried our dog, and you know, like 3 hours ago. It's kind of early. And she was like, I know, but I'm leaving. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do with him. And I was like, okay. So she sent pictures and one of him, and you know, a big white floof. And it's like, okay, I guess maybe we could meet him. And then, like 2 days later, she came to the house with him. And Raymond fell in love with him. And Angus was so at home here that it's like, okay, I guess he can stay. And that's how we got Angus. Now, at the time, I was also going through a very, very, very bad separation with an ex-boyfriend of mine. Like, scary bad. And Angus at the time was a godsend. Like, I didn't really knew much about Great Pyrenees. I knew more about his Newfie side because I had always wanted a Newfie dog when growing up. But that just never happened. I even looked into trying to rescue one, but the closest rescue was in Ontario, and they said I lived too far away because it was too much of a hard drive for the dogs, which I understand and whatnot, I guess. So, but GPs, I didn't realize just how protective they can be of their owners and the property that they're on. So, because I was also dealing with a stalker. Anybody who knows me, we all know who it is, can't prove it, unfortunately. I don't know if I can break these roots apart from this dirt. having a little bit of trouble trying to get, some of it is coming. I keep like digging with my finger. I don't want to take the rake to it just yet. So I had been dealing with a stalker, and like stuff around the house would go missing, stuff out of my barn would go missing, and of course the cops couldn't do anything about it because I didn't have any proof. Are you sure you didn't misplace it, and things like that. So what could you do? I couldn't afford security cameras at the time because I was still paying off a lot of debt that somebody else had put me in. So when Angus came, he got rid of the stalker. Because for about a couple of weeks, at the exact same time, Angus would wake up during the night losing his marbles. And I would get up, I couldn't see anything, see nobody, and he would just basically stand on guard. So, and then I heard somebody had gone to somewhere. I don't want to say too much in case I get in trouble. And then when that person had gone somewhere, the 2 o'clock in the morning freakouts stopped. So that was Angus's first blessing on the family, to where he protected us. The second time, I'd say, like, he really earned his keep and showed his GP ancestry proud, was we were in the parking lot of, hey, don't fight, sorry, cats, of A&W. It was me and my youngest. We were enjoying our veggie burgers, just, sitting. We didn't want to drive and eat at the same time, so we were just sitting there. We had Angus with us in the car. He was poking his head out, and I think I ripped this root off. Or is it a root? It kind of feels like a root. And this person approached our car for some odd reason, and my window was down and was kind of watching him, and he kept getting closer and closer and kind of looking at us a little weirdly, and Angus just was not having it. So he starts doing his bark, growl, like don't mess with me kind of thing, and the person kept coming closer, and the way he was doing it was closer like that, so it was a little creepy for us. And when Angus was losing his marbles at him, I asked him, "Sir, could you please not come any closer? Like, you're upsetting my dog." And that was when the man replied, "Ooh, you're a big fella, aren't ya?" And I said, "Yeah, he is. He might bite you. Could you, please not do that?" And then the man replied, "I want him to bite me." And I was like, "Oh!" Click. I put all the windows up and we kind of watched him, and he watched us for a second, and then he kind of just wandered away. So I was like, okay. Now, would he have approached us without Angus? I don't know. It was still just a kind of an uncomfortable experience. Yeah. The third time that Angus had protected us, that I say that he really protected us. I was by myself. I was in the the Walmart parking lot, and I was just waiting. It was that grocery pickup, so I was just waiting for my groceries, and this big white truck pulls in beside me, and Buddy gets out. He's having a cigarette, and all of a sudden makes kissy faces towards me, and I was like, So I kind of was ignoring him, and then Angus was kind of giving him the eye, and then I think Angus started sensing my discomfort, because he started going boo, 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 like his puff growl, and then Buddy made a kissy face at Angus, and then and then Angus lost his mind, like, and I was like, sir, can you please not do that to my dog? He doesn't like being made kisses at. And he's like, well, I can go back to making kissy faces at you. And I was like, no, thank you. Crink. So I was like, okay. So then he left, went inside Walmart. His truck stayed. And then my groceries came and I left. So, would it have happened if Angus wasn't there? I don't know. Would it have been worse? I don't know. It's not something I dwell on. But I am glad that I did have Angus with me. So because people often ask me, why do I always have Angus with me when I travel? And it's like, well, I've had and before Angus, when I was younger, I've had my life threatened a couple of times. So knowing how Angus is protective and can take on pretty well, or will literally take on anyone and anything for us, is very reassuring. I don't think I can take much dirt off of this. These roots are really stuck together. The fourth time, I would have to say, was in 21. I was hiking Le Quai de Mathieu, or it's the old railroad line between the old gypsum mine and the dock, where the boat would come and pick up the gypsum mine in Shetty Camp. And I had my youngest, my oldest, and my mother with me. And on the way back, Angus had started acting up a little bit, like nose in the air, like, what's that? What's that? What's that? So I figured something was around. I told everybody, okay, I think like there's like a moose around. Everybody be wary and be aware. Pay attention. And my oldest and my mother had started walking ahead. Raymond stopped to look at some shiny rocks. Now my mom swears like the bear was 10 feet away. And it's like, no, the bear was like maybe between 30 and 40 feet. I wasn't too concerned. But while I was looking down at Raymond, the bear had kind of like snuck up on us. It was just a little black bear. Here on Cape Breton, we don't have grizzlies, fortunately. And it kind of like just like walked up to us. I think it was maybe a yearling or a 2-year-old, you know, newly woken up. It's hungry. It's looking around for things. I don't think it would have done anything. It might have been like looking for food or scraps or whatnot. And it's right there. And like, I tell Raymond, okay, you run towards Mimel and Jack. Angus and I are going to stay here and like stand guard. We'll try and scare away the bear. And now I was calm. Like, this was nothing to me, because I've been hiking before. I've seen wild animals. I've seen bears before. And Raymond starts running towards my mother and his brother, and he's like, "There's a bear! There's a bear! There's a bear! Run!" I'm like, "No, you don't need to run. It's fine." And then, like, my mother and Jack start running, and then my mom's yelled, "I can't run!" And while she's running, so it's like, okay. And so Angus and I are there. We're just facing the bear. I'm about ready to, like, put my arms in the air, like, spook it off or whatnot. And Angus just plants all 4 of his legs and just lets out this huge guttural growl. Like, so beastly and ancient and, like, just roar. That it had me spooked. Like, it had every hair on the back of my neck standing up. And the bear just took one look at Angus and booted it. Like, he was not going to mess with Angus. And Angus wasn't going to let anything mess with him. It's like, these are my family, these are my kids, this is my herd, go away. So that was Angus's 4th hero incident with us. There's been other times where he's played hero when it wasn't needed. Because he was overprotective. Like, he's told my contractor off a couple of times. He's told a coworker of mine off. He's told people who asked me out on dates off a couple of times, except for the current boyfriend. But he met him before we were dating, and he really likes him. And he likes his dog too, but it's just Angus can't go off leash because he's a runner. And whenever him and Houdini go in the house, my boyfriend's dog, they fight. They're fine outside, just not inside the house, because Houdini gets more protective. So that's that. What else has Angus done? And there's been times where, you're talking to people and you don't feel something is off about them, but Angus does. So that's happened a few times. There's been times where I've been hiking and we run into people and he puts himself between me and the people. He doesn't get aggressive or growl or whatnot, but he's just like, no, mommy, there's something. Because he's mellowed out a lot in his old age. Because now Angus is going to be 8 in August. So he's getting up there. He's getting up there. I don't know what I'm going to do if he gets too old, because he's my hiking buddy. Like, we go hiking all the time during the summertime, and during the wintertime we do short hikes because I'm a corpsicle. I can't handle the snow. But he'd keep going if I'd let him. I think this is all the dirt I'm going to get off from this hill. But quite a bit came off. Like, I still can't tell what kind of... It does look like a cross between dirt and coco coir. I think that's it. This is all I'm going to get off of this. Yeah. Like, our wish list hike this year is we want to try and get the Cape St. Lawrence Trail done. Not just the short part that runs along the coast, because the short part is 10 kilometers. Well, the whole thing is 17, because then you run along the coast to an old lighthouse and then you go inland. It's more of an Ironman challenge, and Angus is too old to do the whole 17 kilometers. I might be a little too old to do the whole 17 kilometers too, but I wouldn't let it stop me. think it's just, but I don't see a creepy crawling. I think it might be just dust. I'm hoping it's dust. This guy is quarantining in my oldest's room. I still need a mist. Oh well, I'll sweep it up later. And this soil will go into the compost bucket. Ziva. They have scratching posts, but they still love to that would be a good depth there. Yeah, they have scratching posts, but they still like to scratch my furniture. What else has Angus done? He's tried to take on coyotes that come in the backyard, but the fence only allows him to go so close, so the fence keeps the coyotes safe from Angus. And then once I'll give them like a day to move out a little bit, and then Angus and I will take a walk on the back property. I'm trying to get it to move down into the roots. It's easier to do that with a chopstick, but I don't have chopsticks right now. Nice fresh soil. Yeah, whatever that stuff is, it's not turning a very nice color. You can see it, like it's getting, I still don't know what on earth it is. Like I still think it's cocoa coir. It's a mix of all purpose. I didn't think calatheas. I know calatheas aren't a fan of cocoa coir because I have a beauty star that's in cocoa coir right now, and I've been thinking about taking it out of it and see if that would make her happier or better. And ta-da! Water him after. Hey, no, don't be eating those. Don't be eating those. I should put the baby spider plants where I can see them. Okay. Let's move that back over there. Bring this back. And we'll do the waffle plant. Now, this is my first time with a type of plant like this. Like, I've never heard of a waffle plant until we saw it. And at first I thought it was like some kind of cabbage. But the leaves are gorgeous, like this purple that's on the back. Now, this soil doesn't look too bad. It looks... It's not as bad as the Stramanti, but bad enough. Okay. Ziva, what are you doing? Don't drink that water. Okay, like these need to go get washed. I'm putting him in one of these because I might end up dropping him. where he's gonna be at, because I'm putting him in my windowsill in the hallway upstairs, which is a west-facing window. Once he comes out of quarantine, he seems to be doing pretty good. Like, I don't see any pests. With these purple leaves, like if there was young larvae of thrips, they would probably show up really good, or even mealies. Now this soil looks like a crop, like it's all-purpose. I actually might have an easier time of getting it off. Now, to me personally, Angus has been a godsend. Like, I've never had a dog be so protective of me since I was younger. He reminds me a lot of my old dog, Duck. Yeah, I had a dog named Duck. Don't ask me. I think I was 8 when I named her. And she was a miniature collie. Or she looked like a cross between a miniature collie and a dachshund. No clue who her father is, but her mother was a Beagle Chihuahua cross. And she came from Waikagama, so she was like a res dog, I guess you could call it. And she was very protective of me. Very protective. Like, she bit somebody's ankles off protecting me. So Angus reminds me a lot of her. Just, she was 30 pounds and he's 140. So he's like 5 times her size. Yeah, so, but no, what was I saying before? Oh yes, so after the coyotes come through, like, I'll give them a day to move out, and then we'll go where they were, and I'll let him mark his territory on the property, and then we don't see or hear from them for like 3-4 months. That's how long his musk will last. And somebody told me if I hadn't gotten him neutered, it would have lasted longer, because then the hormones would be there and he would be considered more dangerous to the coyotes. Hi, Sylvie. Don't see. It almost feels like there's a plug here, but I don't see anything. This is just the way the roots are. Is that a root ball or is that a plug? Maybe it is a plug. Yeah, I don't like those plugs that they grow these in, and then the roots. Because some plants, like my campanula here that I got for Valentine's Day from my boyfriend, it had, well, when I first got it, it had no roots coming out the bottom. I thought it was great. But then it started to fail, and I was like checking it for pests, checking it. I didn't overwater it. I didn't do anything to it that would warrant me screwing up its life. And then so when I went to check the roots to see if the roots were rotted, because it was in a 4-inch pot, but when I took it out, it was like the root systems were only made for like a 2-inch, and the plug was so thick, like it wasn't getting out. So I had to size it down and remove the plug from it and try to bring it back. And it's starting to come back now, so Yeah, it was in too big of a pot for the root system that it had. So I don't think this is a plug. I think it's just the way the roots decided to grow here, which is kind of weird. Because it's acting like it is a plug, but it's not a plug unless it was in something smaller and they just put it in something bigger without taking the roots or going through the roots to see that they would be fine. Yeah, because Raymond really wanted this guy in his room, but after the shachai with the Asian bell tree and nearly losing my Thanksgiving cactus, I was like, Raymond, I'm sorry, but your room is just not light enough. You know, we can maybe get some grow lights for your room and you can have more plants then. And then he's like looking at the grow lights in my room. He's like, nah, I'm good. I don't need any more plants. He's got a dragon fruit and the Thanksgiving cactus, or what's left of it, in his room. So I'm back to taking care of them since he doesn't want to anymore, but he still wants them in his room. It's like, you take care of it, Mommy, but I want them to decorate my room. So, but they're fine. Like, they're low light plants and, well, not low light, less light, because his window is a northeast window. So I think this is good enough. Not quite the root system I thought it would be, but here we are. Oh, Angus. But yeah, no, Angus is a godsend. I couldn't ask for a better dog. For me, for the kids. But yeah, Cape St. Lawrence Trail is one of our wish list trails to do this year. What's another one that I'd really like to do? Branch Pond Lookoff is another one I would like to do. Okay. That should be good there. What's another trail that Frainies. I'd like to do Frainies because everybody talks about it and I haven't done it yet. I think that's all I can think of right now. There's some trails I've been wanting to do with the kids that are in Inverness, like they're shorter trails, they're not hard. Egypt Falls is another one we'd like to do. All kinds of trails, because Angus and I do a lot of hiking during the summertime. And now that I never realized I'm not really centralized here. Let's give this guy some more space to roll around. And voila. It's able to kind of like lean out and spread out some more. Try and get him to come more this way. Okay. That one is done. Now let's get this guy done. I'm not exactly sure how well, because I've never repotted this guy. This is the same pot he's been in since I bought him. This is dead rot. This is dead. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna go about it, because like we're gonna go for it because he needs to be in something bigger and sturdier. Now some of this topsoil is stuff that I've added because he's toppled over a few times and I've lost dirt. So you can see, I can get this to come a little closer so I don't, like you can see this part here, this is the store-bought stuff, and this is my stuff from him toppling over a couple of times. Well, the root doesn't seem like the roots went very deep. And my root rake. Try and rake away this. Oh, hard to believe. I'm just looking at how long I've been recording, and I've already been doing this for 42 minutes. It didn't feel like it. It did not feel like it at all. Hi, Angus. He's sleeping. You might start hearing him snore eventually. Gwen. She's there in my ponytail palm. Lately, I've been catching her chewing on plants that are not toxic, which is very weird for her. Because before, she used to always leave them alone. Psst. No. Look at her. Gwen, don't do that, please. She's ignoring me now. Like, it definitely didn't need an up pot, but with it being so top heavy, like it was getting annoying how it was constantly falling over. And then I'd have to keep it like leaned up against the window. And winter, that's not always a good idea. These are not attached. Okie dokie. I'll still put them in the same pot. It's just going to make it easier to take the dirt off. No, Ziva, don't eat the spider plants. Take off these dead leaves here. So, got these roots done. Push that more that way. And I'm going to take from this corner here. Ah! Ziva. put them in like this. So I'm gonna need some more earthworm castings. I'm running low. I think we ought to get some soon at the co-op. Now I'm gonna put these in like this. Okay, so we talked about Angus. What should I talk about next? How about, well, the cats. Why 7, you're wondering? Sometimes I ask myself that same question too. Well, again, like with Angus, I was going through a bad breakup. With the cats, I had gone through a different breakup with that same person. Just a year earlier. Because young, dumb. Maybe I should put you. Oh no, you're gonna stay. And that ex was allergic to cats because he used to complain about the 2 that I had. So I think subconsciously we started rescuing cats to try and make sure he wouldn't come back. It kind of worked. I think this will work. And staying. There you go. And then we put him in this cover pot here because it's super heavy. And voila, he's done. Now we'll be watering him. Okay. Let's give this soil a mix. I still have other bags of soil that I can go get and use. It's just this stuff is starting to get a little bit on the old side and it needs to be used. Yeah, I don't want to reuse you just yet, so you need to be washed. So I'm thinking the Hoyas I'll put in here. Okay, now let's pull out the first one. Like the roots are coming really well and they're starting to get a little green, so it's definitely time to get them in. Some dirt. I just haven't figured out who to give them to yet. I might have to put them in 2 because that pot's not deep enough for this one. Neither is this one. Well, he'll make it in this one. Set you there. Well, I guess I'll have two things of a Hoyas to give away. Okay. And then the next clipping, you didn't really grow that much, but I think you can fit in this one. Or I know you can fit in this one. Your thing is short enough. No, you'll have to go in the tall one. You can fit in the short one. You're making new leaves. Like, look, you already started making new leaves. And you're definitely gonna go in the tall one. Let's see. You're a tall one. Okay, that's 4, and then if I get another tall one, it'll go in the middle. Well, you can go in this one. Gwen, what are you doing? Well, you're not supposed to be picking at the plant. He's coming. And one more. But you like pointing that way. I think I might put you in this one. You'll go in the middle to fill it out more. There. There's my 2 Hoya batches. Thought I was only going to be giving away 1. I guess I'm giving away 2. Haven't quite decided who they're going to. It's hard sitting on the floor. But, oh yes, so yeah. Back to the story at hand. Squirrel. Yeah, we just started rescuing, I think, to more or less make sure an ex would stay away. But, so my oldest cat is Tia. She's 16 and a half. She'll be 17, I think, in July or June. Or I got her in July. She was born in June. Something like that. And she originally was a kitten off of my cousin's cat. There's a couple here. And I had lost my old cat, Blackie, like, I think a year before. And Tia looked so much like her that I wanted her so badly. Like, so I lied to my ex-husband and I said that I found her in the woods when actually I got her from my cousin. I think he knows now. Jack told him. I don't care. We've been divorced now since 11 years. Yeah, 11 years, or going on 11 years. Yeah, she looked like my old cat Blackie. I wanted her, I brought her home. Told her I found her in the woods. And he let me keep her, because I found her. Which I was like, woo! I was happy. And I only had her and my ex-husband's cat, Ozzy, who I paid for all his vet and whatnot. I wasn't allowed to take him when we separated, which sucked because I really wanted to take Ozzy. But Ozzy has passed on since then. If Ozzy was still alive, he'd be 18. But he's not with us anymore. He was a tuxedo cat. And Tia's pretty well on her way out. She's got liver issues, heart issues, thyroid issues. And the way she's acting with water, I wouldn't be surprised if she's got kidney issues on the go too. Now the spider plants, I usually just take them with me to work over the season. And if I run into any of the fishermen wives, it's like, oh, how are you today? Yes, isn't the weather like, oh, do you like plants? Would you like this? And so I've been getting rid of them, the babies now, since the last little bit. One will become the office plant. And it'll be like, because every year I put in a new office plant, and it's always a baby spider plant. And because we can't like hang things or have room for big plants, so it's just every year that the office gets a new baby spider plant. And it works. It does well. Keeps the office nice and clean. Keep the air fresh, give some character to the room. And then at the end of the year, I give it away. Somebody takes it. I've given so many of these away. It's unreal how many I have given away. So that's Tia's story. I've had her ever since. She's been like my ride or die since years. Now the second oldest cat would be Saluvi. You've only met her once. She's a little more on the camera shy. She is 13? Yes, 13. She's going to be 14 in November. She's the one that adopted us. We're her fifth home, from what I've been told. I was changing the tires on the car from summer to winters. The kids were playing in the yard, and then all of a sudden, meow, can you look behind me? There she was. It's like, hi, help me, please. I'm hungry. She was pretty skinny when I found her. And I had found out that we were her fifth home, because what had happened was her first owner wasn't from here, and she married somebody from here. And when they separated, she couldn't take the cat, so the ex-husband took the cat. So ex-husband took the cat and had the cat for a while until ex-husband met new wife, and they were together for a bit, and then new wife and ex-husband separated. Ex-husband couldn't take the cat, so new wife took the cat. Then new wife met new boyfriend. New boyfriend, from what I heard, didn't like the cat and gave the cat to new boyfriend's parents and made her a barn cat. Now this is a cat that had been indoors its whole life. It didn't know how to be a barn cat. So it didn't want to be a barn cat, and I don't think they realized that when you get a new cat, it's got to be at a spot for 10 days before its biological clock to set in, and it realizes this is its home and this is its territory. Because she kept trying to go from the barn back to the new home, which is like 4 houses down from me, and they weren't taking her back in or whatnot, so they kind of kept like shooing her away. Go home, go back to the barn kind of thing. And then I think it was the kids playing in the yard that attracted her. So, and that's how we got Saluvi. Because I did ask them, like, do you want your cat back? Like, I know it picked us, but we're more than happy to keep it. And she's like, no, I was planning on getting rid of it anyways. It's like, okay. Your loss. Your loss, my game. But because Saluvi had been outside, she's got some kidney issues that flare up because it had been really cold, so she may have gotten like too cold. Well, just not being used to it. There we go. So every now and then she'll get these flare-ups with her kidneys, and it's off to the vet to get her medicine and whatnot. She's on special cat food, like Iams urinary, and it seems to be working because now her flare-ups aren't every year. They're like every 3 years now, which I don't mind. She's kind of has to go for like yearly checkups because of her age anyways. And that's the second cat. Third cat would be Ziva, who you see often because she's like wants to be the center of attention. She's Raymond's cat. It's like, love me, hug me, pick me, pay attention to me, attention hog. Always look at me. What happened was, because we had the 2 cats and we were by ourselves, and Jack was like, Raymond doesn't have a cat, Mom. It's like, I have Saluvi, you have Tia. We should get Raymond a cat. It's like, okay, we'll get Raymond a cat. So I went on the Shitty Camp Cat Rescue, asked to see if they had any kittens available or if they knew any cats that were needing to be rehomed. And there was the one who was fostering Ziva contacted me, and it's like, yeah, this one is a year old. She's looking for a permanent home, and so they came to drop her off. Her kids wanted to see my horse because I had a horse at the time. I was like, sure, come on here and give her a carrot. She loves these. And I asked Jack to watch her brother while I'm just right outside the door. And Raymond hauled the cat out of the carrier. It's like, this is my cat now, mine. And was just doing an Elmira thing to her. And it's like, oh, yep, that's his cat. That's my cat. And she's been his Sookie cat ever since. Some people have, like, kids have Sookie bears and Sookie blankets and whatnot. Raymond has a Sookie cat. Yeah, I'm running low on dirt. Not low on pots, but low on dirt. Well, this summer I'll have to restock up on dirt. I think this is my biggest potting video I've ever done. So that's Ziva's story. And then the next would be Diaz and Demeter. Oh, careful. Watch the pots, Angus. Are you just waking up, buddy? Yeah? Is it too hot on the couch? Hmm? So yeah, the next would be Diaz and Demeter. I got them both at the same time. Their owner was looking to rehome them because she wasn't home a lot, and it wasn't fair to the cats. She was friends with my mom, so I was like, okay, sure. I went to see them because Gwen was also part of that batch as well. And like they got along good with Raymond except for Gwen, but it's like I couldn't leave Take Two and not Gwen, so it's like I'll take them all. Why not? So I took them all. And they've been here ever since. Now, Gwen was a little different. Like, her last owner didn't get her as a kitten. It was the cat rescue had rescued her. They found her wandering around outside. She's declawed. And the way they had said is just, it was like they just didn't want her. They just threw her away. Which is kind of sad. You know, it's a life. You can't just throw a life away. And so I'm Gwen's third home. Celine, I've already gone into detail of her story. Her third home. Her person had her as a kitten and then rehomed her, and then that person was having issues. Gave her back. Then he started having issues. Then she got hit by a car. Couldn't be a barn cat anymore. So she came here, and I haven't had any. And the issues that I had with her, I just set up my security camera and watched her and figured it out and solved it. And now we don't have those issues anymore. She's been a perfect cat since. I don't know. I just don't get people. Like, it's almost as if people give up too easily on things. Talking too much. My voice is starting to go. So, yeah, so I've had Celine now since, it'll be a year in April that I've had her. It's a little too low. There you go, another one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spire plants to give away. Well, 3, and there's still lots left in the bowl. And it helps get rid of these nursery pots because I've got tons of these. Because the majority of the plants that I buy, they're in 3, 4, even 5-inch pots. And, you know, it's like, what am I going to do with them? I feel bad to, like, put them in the blue bag, but. So I just save them and I reuse them. Because, like I said, we're using them right now. These spider plants will find new homes. Oh, what's this? Oh, a piece of Echeveria. I'll put that in there. Okay, so I'll have to do one kind of like this because of the way that root is growing. This might have to be a fiber. Move these baby leaves first. And then we'll put him in. And then, because how straight you are, we can try and like get you straight down the middle. There we go. Perfect. And there. Ta-da. Oh, I guess I should maybe pick this sticker off. It'll come off. Maybe, yes. It's coming. Because on the sticker it says 4-inch violet, and it's like, eh, it's not a violet. There. That one's done. Oh. Whew. That's garbage. It gets to be washed. With the rest of the soil, I got a bag of orchid bark and tropical soil that I can put back in here. But yeah, not bad work. Just kind of surprised it took me an hour and 15 minutes to get it done. But it is what it is. I still have lots of things left. But that Echeveria, he can't fit. He was in my upstairs window because it's a south facing window, so he'll have to go there. I think this pot will fit. The Sturmanti and the waffle plant will go back to Jack's room to finish their quarantine. These guys, well, the Hoyas can go back in that window. The spire plants, however, will have to go behind glass until, hello, Gwen, until they get rehomed. Here. That's about it. I will link in the description box a how to care for the Echeverias, because I did a video on those. I'll link the Port Hawkesbury planting trip so you can see when I got them. I got 2 videos of the Hoya carnosa. One is a how to care and the other is a repot, so you can see where the clippings came from and how to care for it. Even the spire plants, like I've got a how to care for that video. I can put that one up in the description box as well. If you guys feel like watching them, it's entirely up to you. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I guess that's it. So if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can always give me a thumbs down. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But if you really liked the video, you can subscribe. And as always, live long, plant on.